These Ikigais are something you want to avoid if you want to improve your sleep. If I started optimizing my sleep in 2025, I would do this and find my Ikigai. That's something I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. Hi, my name is Hachiaki Takamiya. I am the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. So it is 2025 now. How is the new year going for you so far? Now, today, I'd like to talk about sleep, how to optimize sleep in 2025. Now, do you know Dr. Mathew Walker, who is a sleep expert? He is a professor of neuroscience and psychology at the University of California, Berkeley. According to Dr. Mathew Walker, sleep is one of the most important factors of health and longevity. Well, actually, he said it is the most important factor. Now, I don't know if it is the most important because I think all other factors such as exercises, diet, fasting are important. But if I look back, my secret, like people often ask me, what is your secret to staying healthy? Because I do actually look younger than my age. I'm 62 years old, but I have always looked slightly younger than my actual age. And then so often people ask me, what is your secret? And then if I think about, now I have been practicing all those Ikigai biohacking things, such as, fasting, having a good diet, exercising, and so on. So those are all my secret now, but I didn't practice all of them in the entire life. For example, fasting, I did not practice fasting until recently. I only started fasting about 3 or 4 years ago. Exercises, yes, it's an on and off. There are times in my life I exercise regularly. There are times in my life I didn't exercise so much. And diet too. There are certain periods of my life that I didn't eat well. So none of all those things are constant activity throughout my life. But if I were to pick one activity that I practice consistently throughout my life, that is sleep. I have always slept well. And I have always prioritized my sleep. Sleep was so important to me. I always slept for 8 hours, and that was no negotiation. In other words, I didn't sacrifice sleep. Many people, because they want to do many things. You want to study, you want to be effective with your work and stuff, and then only time you can cut down is sleep. So many people cut down the sleep time, but I didn't do that because sleeping was so important for me. It was the number one priority. No matter how busy I was or how other things need to be taken care of, I could not sacrifice my sleep without any knowledge. It was just like my personal, thing. I didn't even know about all those, sleep optimization methods and so on. So I was very surprised to find out that actually 8 hours sleep was important for all human beings. Finally, I felt this new theory defended all my action. So now if you ask me, what is your secret to staying healthy? Definitely sleep has been one of my biggest secrets to staying healthy. Okay, so what about 2025? Does it make any difference? Sleep is always important regardless of the year, but does it make it especially special in 2025? I think it does. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So today in this video, I'll be sharing with you what 2025 will be like, how your sleep affects this year, what are ways to optimize your sleep, how having Ikigais can improve your sleep quality, what types of Ikigai can improve your sleep. So if you want to know all this, please watch the video until the end. Those of you who just discovered this video today, this is the Ikigai Diet channel, which is a health and longevity channel. We usually cover things like diet, exercise, mindset, and sometimes we cover Japanese blue zones because there are several blue zones in Japan other than Okinawa, and we cover from traditional Japanese health method to modern Japanese health trends such as chokatsu. So basically, this is a channel about how to increase health span for people over 50 or 60. So if you're interested, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. So 2025 is different from other years. And one difference is this is going to be the year of the snake, according to the Chinese zodiac. And this will start in January this year, on January 29th, which is earlier than usual. Usually, the Chinese New Year doesn't start until like around the 10th of February. So this year, it is about 10 days earlier. That means almost the entire 2025 will be the year of the snake. So what does it mean? What is the characteristic of the year of the snake? Now, so one keyword is wisdom. And another keyword is transformation, especially spiritual transformation. And the last keyword is intuition. So wisdom, and that is why you want to live wiser. Wise biohacking becomes more critical this year. By the way, this is the only channel dealing with wise biohacking. And then spirituality becomes the key this year. So transformation, intuition, all to do with spirituality. Spirituality has been popular in the last few decades too. There have been many people who practice meditation, yoga, and so on. But this year, there will be a lot of disclosures about spirituality. There will be some scientific discoveries about spirituality. So probably the first time in history, spirituality and science will merge. Some of the spiritual reality will be backed up by scientific evidence. So more and more, spirituality becomes official and it will become mainstream. And if you're talking about spirituality, sleep is very important because sleep is door to the unconscious mind. We become unconscious during sleep. Now, there are many ways to tap into the altered state of consciousness, such as meditation, but it is very difficult to do it unless you train yourself for a long time. And sometimes it takes years and years of practice to be able to do that. So sleep is much easier compared to this because you automatically enters the altered state of consciousness. So things like doing dream journaling. If you keep dream journal, you can receive some signs from the unconscious mind. So I recommend that you practice dream journal this year a lot. And you need to sleep well to do that. You need to have a good sleep quality to utilize your dream. So, what are ways to optimize your sleep? And first, what are your ways to optimize sleep? Some of the things that you are already doing, or some of the things that you already know. So, what are your ways to optimize sleep? Please write in the comment section below. And now I will share with you some of the things that Dr. Mathew Walker are saying. So one is sleep for 8 hours. Well, technically speaking, it's 7 hours, but he says that make sure to sleep for 8 hours so that you'll be sleeping for 7 hours. Because sometimes you don't fall asleep right away. Even though if you sleep for 8 hours, the actual time that you're sleeping is somewhere around 7 hours. So the idea is to make time to sleep for 8 hours. And the time that you are sleeping is critical. He said that you should be sleeping between the hours of 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. So in other words, if you're sleeping for 8 hours, You should be sleeping from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m., 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., or 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. In my case, I sleep between 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 8 hours, but it is covering this period, 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. But if you, for example, sleep from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m., you're not covering this period entirely. Or if you sleep from 12 midnight to 8 a.m., then you're not covering these precious hours. So those are the best sleeping schedule according to Dr. Mathew Walker. And when you sleep, make sure to turn all the lights off. You sleep in complete darkness. And don't eat for 3 hours before going to bed. So if you go to bed at 11 p.m., better to finish eating dinner by 8 p.m. And don't eat for 1 hour after waking up. So if you wake up at 7 a.m., better to wait eating breakfast until 8 a.m. And don't use smartphones 1 hour before and after bed, or smartphones or computers. So no screen time 1 hour before and after bed. And have a hot bath or sauna at night. Now, in order to align yourself with a circadian rhythm, it is good to do a deliberate heat exposure at night and deliberate cold exposure in the morning. So take a cold shower or cold plunging in the morning. And have the morning sunlight exposure within the first hour of waking up. And that is why I usually exercise outdoors in the morning. So I go jogging or Nordic walking in the morning, so I can combine my exercise with this morning sunlight exposure. And if you're exercising indoor, make sure to do it in a room with a lot of sunlight coming in. And eat natto. So this is not a suggestion from Dr. Mathew Walker. It is from me. But eat natto for dinner. This is because there is an enzyme called natto kinase in natto. And natto kinase dissolves blood clots, which helps maintain good blood vessel structure, improves blood flow, and lower the risk of heart disease. Blood clotting often occurs at night during your sleep, and natto kinase usually works 10 to 12 hours following consumption. So if you have natto for dinner, then natto kinase works while you are sleeping. Don't drink coffee for the first 60 to 90 minutes of the morning. And include sleep in your fasting window. If you practice intermittent fasting, it is better to include your sleep. So that means either skipping breakfast or skipping dinner. Or you can have 3 meals, but maybe practice 14 hours fasting, including your sleep. Because autophagy is activated the most during sleep. Okay, so how many of the things here do you already practice? So in the beginning, I asked you, what are your ways to optimize sleep? So how many of the things I just talked about have matched to your ways? Please write in the comment section below. For details about sleep optimization, please read my book, Live Wiser, Not Smarter, Chapter 7, Optimizing Sleep. Now, from here, I'll talk about something that I didn't discuss in the book. The first one is keeping a gratitude journal before bed. So this came up in the last video when I talked about mindset. Remember? So according to the study at Manchester University. So a study conducted by researchers at the University of Manchester examined the relationship between gratitude and sleep quality. The research published in 2009 involved a large community samples of 401 participants 186 males, 215 females, aged 18 to 68 years. The study found that gratitude predicted better sleep outcomes, including greater subjective sleep quality, longer sleep duration, reduced sleep latency, time taken to fall asleep, less daytime dysfunction. And it is usually said it's good to do that before bed. I mean, you can do that throughout the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, but the best time to do it is before going to bed. But when you do that, make sure to use a pen and notebook, not your phone. Because remember, no screen time before bed. If you find it kind of troublesome to write down all those sentences, you can simply practice Shinyon Kansha meditation, which I also talked about in the last video. It means appreciate the favors God have already given to you. It's similar to graduate practice. Basically, appreciate happy things happening in your life. Be grateful for things happening in your life. And you can do that throughout your day. And you can do that before going to bed as well. For details of how to practice Shinyon Kansha meditation, please watch my last video called If I Started Rewiring My Mindset in 2025, I'd Do This. I put the link below in the description box. Now, Ikigai. So, does Ikigai improve sleep quality? Apparently, it seems to do. Now, so several studies have found a positive relationship between having Ikigai and improved sleep quality. A study from Northwestern University's neurology department revealed that people who feel they have a purpose, Ikigai, are much more likely to have good quality sleep. Additionally, research has shown that having Ikigai is associated with sleeping 7 or more hours per day, which is considered important for longevity in the elderly. The concept of Ikigai has been linked to various health benefits, including better sleep patterns. Here are some key findings. Longevity and sleep duration. A population-based prospective study in Japan found that sleeping 7 hours a day along with having Ikigai were important factors for longevity in the elderly. Stress reduction, having Ikigai has been associated with lower levels of stress, which can contribute to better sleep quality. Overall well-being, Ikigai is linked to increased mental well-being and life satisfaction, which may indirectly improve sleep quality. Physical health. Studies have shown that having Ikigai is associated with better self-rated health, which could positively impact sleep patterns. So, Ikigai. So, what is Ikigai? You may have a vague idea of what Ikigai is because now Ikigai is fashionable, it talks about a lot. But at the same time, there are a lot of misinterpretation of Ikigai too on the internet. So, one more time, I'll clarify the meaning of Ikigai. So, Ikigai is written in this character. So, this means life or living. And this kai means value or worth. So ikigai means the value of life. And there are two meanings to it. One is like the value of life, so life purposes that defines who you are. Something you feel you are born to do, something that keeps you going, something that is the reason why you are living, that kind of thing, your life purposes. The other meaning is daily joys or pleasure that motivate you to live. So this is a lot smaller and simpler. And so many of the Westerners think Ikigai is something profound, something really big. But for Japanese people, it's nothing special. It's not a big deal because it's some, daily small things. And today, I'd like to focus on the second meaning. So daily joys or pleasures that motivate you to live. And this can help improve your sleep quality. Now, because some of the joys can link to a happy state. So happy state is important. So I talked about in the last video too about mindset. So you want to stay positive, you want to stay happy, but it's not easy to do. Mind is the most difficult to control. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult to feel happiness. You need certain triggers, and Ikigai can become these triggers, as in conditioned response. Remember this Pavlov's experiment that when the person rings the bell, then dog automatically feels hungry and so on. So the same thing can be true about Ikigai. Ikigai can make you feel happy and positive instantly. For example, morning walk is my Ikigai, or morning jog is my Ikigai. And immediately I feel happy and positive, partly because of the scenery. It's a beautiful scenery in the countryside, but also the act of exercising too, feel kind of good. It kind of makes me feel that I'm disciplined and so on. It is a great trigger to shift my mindset. And morning coffee too is not as powerful as exercising, but the act of drinking coffee, the smell, the kind of, I don't know, even the color of coffee and everything makes me happy. In the morning, just it makes me get going or start my day. So it is a trigger to make me feel happy. And some of you drinking coffee at a cafe with a friend is your Ikigai. And that is even better because you walk to the coffee shop and then you meet your friend, you have a sort of social connection, and the whole atmosphere of the cafe, the smell of coffee, the music, everything becomes a string trigger to change your mental state. By the way, talking about coffee, you need to be careful because better not to intake caffeine for 8 to 10 hours before going to sleep to optimize your sleep. So if you go to bed at 11 p.m., you can drink coffee up to 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. So in other words, yeah, drink coffee in the morning, but not in the afternoon. Okay, that makes me wonder what types of Ikigai can improve sleep and what types of Ikigai cannot improve sleep. So let's look at some of the Ikigai that don't improve your sleep. Well, obviously, the first one is alcohol, such as drinking wine. I mean, this is Ikigai for many people. This is my Ikigai. I enjoy drinking wine, and I often drink wine, and it is definitely one of my Ikigais. So is it bad? Well, according to Dr. Mathew Walker, alcohol is not good for your sleep. It is absolutely not to drink alcohol at night, like a few hours before bed. But so if you have to drink, maybe better to drink for lunch. But he says even then it is better not to drink. So zero alcohol. He says the best way is not to drink any alcohol at all if you want to optimize your sleep. Many longevity experts seem to agree that alcohol isn't good for your health anyway, not only for your sleep, but for health in general. So now they all say stop drinking alcohol completely. This is the new trend. Now, however, I'm not a scientist. I don't look at alcohol as a pure substance because they always look at alcohol as a pure substance, how toxic it is and how, bad for the body it is. But there is more to it. That is a psychological benefit. There is definitely a psychological benefit from moderate drinking, not excess drinking, but moderate drinking. It just definitely makes you feel happy. In fact, if I were to pick one single trigger that had the highest impact of changing your mental state, that is alcohol. Immediately you feel happy. Why not use this substance if it's so effective? And if you drink with another person, there's a social connection. So definitely drinking alcohol serves as Ikigai. And I don't think it is a bad Ikigai. But if you want to improve your sleep, the former is also true. So what I do is I don't drink during the week. I only drink on the weekend, moderately, of course, but I only drink on the weekend, not during the week, so that I can at least optimize my sleep during the week for 5 days and then limit this Ikigai to the weekend. Eating sweet is another thing. This can be Ikigai to many people, and I do enjoy eating chocolate. For example, sometimes I like to eat chocolate in the afternoon. And in Sweden, this is called fika, isn't it? So having coffee with pastries and you get together with your friend and it's a very present moment. So in a way, it is like their Ikigai. So fika is Swedish Ikigai for many people. So I don't think it is bad at all. It is beneficial for you. But of course, sugar isn't good. So what you can do is maybe choose type of sweet that doesn't use white sugar. The sweet that using brown sugar or honey or syrup or something. But if you can, those ikigais are something you want to avoid if you want to improve your sleep. Okay, so then what types of ikigai can improve your sleep? Exercises. Any of the exercise that I talked about in the 2 videos ago is good ikigai to improve your sleep. And fasting too. I mean, I don't know if fasting can become your ikigai. I mean, it can become ikigai to me. I mean, I do enjoy fasting. I mean, in a way, when I feel hungry, like sort of my stomach becomes empty, it's a kind of pleasure. I do enjoy the feeling of that hunger. So in that way, it is ikigai. So, fasting can be your ikigai. And sauna definitely can be your ikigai, and it's a good ikigai to improve your sleep. Gardening is a fantastic ikigai to improve your sleep. And diet, of course. I mean, eating healthy food is good, and maybe cooking, you can prepare some healthy meals, thinking of the recipes that can all become your ikigai. Reading books is wonderful, and singing or any other artistic activities is great. Or learning a language or learning something is a great ikigai. And dancing is wonderful because this is an artistic activity to stimulate your brain, and it is a great physical exercise. So to improve your sleep, have ikigais like these. Okay, to sum up, you want to sleep for 8 hours and then sleep between 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and then turn all the lights off when you sleep and eat dinner 3 hours before bed. Don't eat for 1 hour after waking up. No screen time for 1 hour before and after bed. Heat exposure at night. Cold exposure in the morning. Morning sunlight exposure. Eat natto for dinner. Don't drink coffee for 60 to 90 minutes after waking up. Include sleep in your fasting window. Keep a gratitude journal before bed. Practice Shingon Kansha. Have ikigais. Drinking alcohol or eating sweet aren't good ikigais for improving sleep. Ikigai biohacking activities are good ikigais. Artistic activities and learning activities are good ikigais. Okay, for details about sleep optimization plus some other element of biohacking such as diet, fasting, exercises, please read Live Wiser, Not Smarter. Thank you for watching. Again, my name is Sachiaki Takamiya, the author of Live Wiser, Not Smarter. If you like this video, please give me your thumb up and please leave your comment. So what are some of your ikigais that can improve your sleep? Thank you. Well, I will see you in the next video. Live with your ikigai!